you wanted to talk about who has more power in society, men or women.
Yeah, I do.
Who do you? Why don't you start off? Who do you think?
Honestly, I think women have a lot of power towards a man, but I think the man should have the power overall because the man is the leader.
In society? Or in a relationship, or both?
I guess both, actually, both. I mean, for me personally.
Okay.
I think the man
Hot
should
take
have.
there from her.
I think the man should
Do
have the
you-
power, but
in society, because the question was,
Yeah,
who
in
has more
society,
power
yeah.
in society, men or women? Do you think it's women, but men should? Mm-hmm. Was that an acknowledgement of my statement, or
yeah,
do you
no,
need
no,
me-
yeah.
So you think women have more power in society, but men should have more power?
I think it just depends because I think a woman has a lot of power because with a man, for example, like if you think of a pastor and his wife, no one sees like the struggles that's going on, but the wife still helps him. So I think women have a lot of power when it comes to like persuading men in ways to get what they want, if that makes sense.
So okay, I see what you're saying. Going around the table, agree, disagree with what she thinks? Who has more power in society, men or women?
I think men definitely have more power in society. Although I feel like it should be more equal.
More equal, okay. All right, what do you think?
I think men have more power in society, but it's for sure like more women are starting to be appreciated now, like towards equal power at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think it's definitely still a bit male-dominated, but, yeah, women are kind of sliding in there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, for now, men still have a lot more power.
Men have more power.
I agree. I don't see how men have more power than women, but it's becoming more equal now to me, I think. Well, sort of.
I think it's pretty much equal.
Equal, okay.
I also agree on that.
You agree on what?
That it's like inching towards like more equal, but I would say men would have more power initially.
Okay.
I'm a bit unclear. It's like, are we saying men are in positions of power, so they're leadership
anything.
roles? I think men should be in leadership roles, so I don't see an issue with it. I think women are the gatekeepers to life, and they hold a lot of power and have influence over men. I don't know if that answered anything.
Okay.
What do you
Well, I
think,
think. Well, as an egalitarian, I don't think that men have more power.
Yeah.
I think we have a gynocentric society. I think women have more power than men, and women have more rights than men too. You got more rights. More rights. You
You're
seem
right
to
about
disagree. Do you disagree on the rights thing?
How so?
Do you disagree on the rights thing?
I do, but no comment. I don't think women have more rights than men because that's what you initially said, correct? That is what you said, right? So let me flip this question onto you then. I disagree with that, okay? What kinds of rights do women have that men don't have?
Well, hold on. But
Wait, that's what you said though, right? That women have more rights than men, and that's
Sure.
what you said. So
Sure.
I disagree with
But you,
that.
hold on. I'll answer your question if you answer mine first, since I posed it to you first.
Okay, yeah, I disagree. I think men and women have the same amount of rights. I don't think that women have more rights than men.
No, but initially,
that's what you said.
Right, but initially you said that, if I recall, I could be slightly mistaken here. You did seem to imply that there are rights that men possess that women don't.
When did I imply that?
You
That-
stated that.
When
Yeah,
what did I say?
that was your initial answer to the question, was that you thought that men had more rights than women.
Yeah, he
I said men have more rights than women. That's what I said verbatim.
Brian verbatim asked, do women have more rights than men? And you quickly said yes.
Oh, I apologize, but I disagree with what you said. Women do not have more
So there's
rights
equal
than men.
rights then.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we have equal rights.
So I'll answer your question then. Where do I begin? Let's talk immediately upon birth. So most boys, most newborns in this country, immediately upon birth have their genitals mutilated. They don't have a right to consent or not consent to this because they're obviously newborns and they can't make an informed decision on that. So immediately, that's one way in which boys in this country are not protected. They don't have a right to their own bodily autonomy. And I'm sure you have arguments of your own when it comes to bodily autonomy. That's one. Another bodily autonomy argument I have is that men are compelled. So women, I don't know if it's so much from the framing of a right as a lack of a duty/responsibility, but I suppose I could frame it.
Lol Paladins donated $200. 60% of women don't comment in the wars.
Thank you, Law Paladins. Appreciate it. So women have the right to not be subject to forced military conscription. They don't have to register for selective service. If there was a draft, they can't be drafted by law. They don't have, as a man, if you don't register for the selective service, there's certain negative repercussions. It's technically a felony. You could be imprisoned. There's a $250,000 fine. You're barred from certain federal programs. You can't apply for certain federal jobs. You can't get student loans, for example. You can't, I think it might bar you from, there's a couple more, but in any case, beyond just, you can't vote too. So those are two that kind of strike me immediately, ways in which there's an inequality between men and women.
Why do you think that is?
Why? Because the men, is that going to be your argument?
No. I'm genuinely curious. Like, what do you think about that? Why do you think that is?
Think about the circumcision one or the draft one?
Well, either one. Like for the draft one, for example, would you want women to get drafted
Absolutely.
as well?
In the name of equality. Are you against equality?
No, I'm for it.
Yeah,
so.
Women should be subject to forced military conscription the same way men are.
Okay, then.
You disagree?
I was going to say, why not just get rid of it?
Yeah, we should just get rid of war too, shouldn't we?
Well, I mean, we haven't used it in how many years? We haven't had to have a draft in how many years?
Do you know when the last draft was?
No, I'm asking.
You're asking me when the last one was? Vietnam.
Okay, yeah. That's...
Yeah. There are men who would have been alive today had they not been drafted. And there are men alive today who were drafted who have cut up arms. They're, what's the word for it? They PTSD.
Yeah,
trauma, etc. So, and even though we haven't had an actual draft, in order for us men to be able to vote, we have to be subject to it. We have to register for selective service. We cannot vote unless we register. And I already listed out, it's technically a felony, $250,000 fine. You are barred from certain federal programs, federal jobs, student loans, can't vote, etc. And we can't, so assuming in a world where you can't get rid of the draft, would you agree with me that women should be subject to forced military conscription?
I mean, in the event that it's necessary, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know plenty of women who have just voluntarily signed up to go be Marines.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, like, you don't even... There are plenty of people joining the military, are they not? Are there not?
Yeah, they can volunteer.
Yeah.
But they're not forced to. In the event of a draft, they wouldn't be forced to.
Yeah, and there are also plenty of men just volunteering to go.
Sure.
So my point being, do we not have plenty of people? Why do we still need it? In the event that we need it.
Do you think we're closer to war now than we were 10 years ago?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just interesting thought. Anyways, we were talking